The last couple of weeks have been wild for the crypto market. We've seen Bitcoin drop below $50,000 per coin for the first time in months, and since then we've already seen the market bounce back. It's up over 10% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin's actually already back above $60,000 per coin, and we're seeing major news coming out from Cardano as Cardano's Chain hard fork is almost here, which could present a massive rally for Cardano and some other altcoins. So if we're looking at the overall crypto market right now, we can see that in terms of Bitcoin, there's a few very bullish things happening. First is that if you're looking at Bitcoin, we can see that on the weekly charts, you can zoom in a bit and we can see on the weekly charts that for Bitcoin, we saw this massive wick down, this massive liquidation event, and this caused a lot of fear in the market. But then it was followed by a massive rally where prices pushed back up, and actually we are in the green for this weekly candle. So historically, this one candle right here with this long wick followed by that massive rally higher is a very bullish sign, usually a sign of a reversal in the market. You could couple this with another major bullish thing that's happening when you're looking at what's going on with Russia, because Russia recently came out and legalized Bitcoin and crypto mining, and this was a massive piece of news that came out that helped push Bitcoin back above $60,000 per coin. And why this is important is because Vladimir Putin came out and signed a law that legalized cryptocurrency process to specified persons, and ultimately it went about legalizing cryptocurrency mining in Russia. And this is something that is very, very important because we've seen Russia, we've seen China, we've seen countries all around the world try to restrict Bitcoin and crypto at some point in time over the past couple of years, but ultimately they've all had to give in because there's not one single thing that you can do to cut off Bitcoin and cut off access to crypto. So all these countries are realizing this and are just simply making it more and more accessible, more and more easy for people to mine crypto, buy crypto, use crypto exchanges. And this is just showing us, look, that Bitcoin's never going to go anywhere. It's always going to be around. And ultimately, Vladimir Putin, Russia, we could see in terms of China, we see just all around the world that everyone's realizing that Bitcoin, crypto is here to stay. This is just another thing that's going to make it easier. Next up is I want to talk about Elastos. Elastos is a project that we've talked about in a couple of videos over the past couple of months, and with their recent developments and announcements, it's really positioning itself as a trailblazer in the blockchain DeFi sector, because right now Elastos is a significant player in the blockchain space, and they have a pretty strong community, and they've been forming major partnerships with like Bitcoin mining pools like BTC.com, Ant Pool, F2 Pool via BTC, and Binance Pool. And on top of all this, at the recent Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville, Elastos unveiled the Bell2 SDK, where partners can go about building native Bitcoin decentralized applications to encourage staking of an estimated trillions of dollars of dormant Bitcoin, and ultimately by simplifying the integration of Bitcoin functionalities into decentralized applications, Elastos is attracting a wide array of developers, and why they were so successful and why they had so much attraction at the Bitcoin conference. On top of all this, Elastos is really focusing on a number of key innovations and strategies. They have their Bell2 protocol, which introduces native Bitcoin staking directly on the Bitcoin network. They use ZKP technology and decentralized arbitration within the Bell2 protocol. The Star BTC demo app showcases the practical application of Bell2 protocol by allowing staked Bitcoin to be used as collateral for stablecoin loans, and a bunch of other things. So this is a project that we've talked about in a number of videos recently, and you really should be keeping an eye out on for the remainder of 2024 and into early 2025. Last thing is in terms of Bitcoin that is extremely bullish is that we also saw that Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF hit 6 billion volume during that massive market correction. And the thing that was interesting about this is that when we saw Bitcoin's price drop to below $50,000 per coin, it was trading around 49,000. We actually saw that, so first of all, like Bitcoin and altcoins took major hits. Everything was down 20-30% in a single day. But when we saw this massive volume, an interesting thing that happened is that we actually saw massive institutional demand. And JP Morgan came out and they said, look, the Bitcoin rebound was supported by institutional investors. And they said that if you were looking at exactly what happened, we saw that institutional investors helped support Bitcoin's rebound and retail investors contributed to the decline. So this is something that is very exciting if you're an investor, because it shows you, look, people who are new to crypto, people who maybe have just been starting to invest, or people who are a little bit just more anxious about their portfolios, they're the ones who are buying and selling and getting worried and getting all this fear. But the big institutional investors, the large corporations, institutions, everyone who's looking at these Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, they're simply buying. So that shows us that, yeah, there's some fear in the market, but it's mostly just retail investors selling their positions to these massive institutions who are just scooping it up for lower and lower prices. So all of these things combined, coupled with, as long as we could see this nice formation right here with this candle for the weekly close, as long as we could see this close in the green, this would pretty much present a good buying opportunity. That, look, the market rebound and that bit of a liquidation event has already happened, and now we can start pushing to new record highs and break through $74,000 per coin. If we're looking at Cardano, other major things are happening there. We can see that in terms of Cardano's Chang hard fork is almost here. And this is something that is very, very important because Cardano is preparing for the Chang hard fork, which will bring in the Voltaire era by introducing on-chain governance. And ultimately, the important thing about this is that the upgrade allows ADA holders to vote directly on key decisions, moving the platform closer to a fully decentralized ecosystem. And this is very exciting because decentralized governance is a massive upgrade, a massive change for Cardano. And they ultimately said that, look, we need to see 70% of the network stake pool operators upgrade to their nodes to version 9.1. Currently, as of the last couple days, we're around 63 to 65%. So as soon as that number hits 70%, then we can see this upgrade take place. And this changes the whole entire governance system for Cardano, could help propel it to yearly highs. We have not yet seen Cardano break through $1 per coin this cycle, and this is something that could definitely help. Not only this, but this coupled with the overall market flipping, and if we're looking at Cardano's TVL, we can see in terms of ADA, we're nearly at all-time highs in terms of its TVL, in terms of ADA. It's right around that 600 million mark. So if you're looking at everything going on in the market, altcoins starting to bounce back a bit, then what's going on with the Chang hard fork, all of these things could really represent a good opportunity to get involved right now if you haven't already, or if you just want to DCA into your Cardano position. And last thing I do want to talk about is going to be with ChainGPT. So ChainGPT is currently around that 11 to 12 cents per token mark, and it's right around that 430 highest crypto in terms of market cap. The key thing about ChainGPT is that it's rolled out a number of major partnerships and upgrades while the market has been in a lot of fear. So that's something I really like to see, because when a project is consistently rolling out new developments, major partnerships, major upgrades, despite market conditions, that shows you that it's a project that's really in it for the long term. It has a lot of value, not just people buying a token hoping it goes up in price, but really there's a lot of value and utility in the project. So recently, ChainGPT announced its partnership with Alpha Blockchain. You could also see that they recently announced that they had a trading contest with HTX Global. And you can just see that they're consistently rolling out more and more updates, like for their chatbot, where they talk about how you can type in what you want to swap, and their cross-chain swap widget will handle the rest. It'll tell you the cheapest place to go about swapping. You can look at their major partnerships. Really, just ChainGPT is at the center of artificial intelligence in the crypto space. And if you're interested in AI, especially with this recent market correction we're seeing, I think ChainGPT is really oversold. It was at an all-time high of around 50 cents per token. I think it easily will reclaim this level once we see the market bounce back and we start seeing Bitcoin and altcoins rally again.